just to focus, Inria is a French National Institute for Computer Science and Applied Mathematics. As you can see, it's a public science and technology institution, and we are placed under the supervision of the French ministries and the French Ministries of Research and the French Ministries of Industry. That's why we have a dual mission, that is to say, a scientific excellence in the service of technology transfer and society. Inria is composed of 8 different centers in France, and actually next year we will celebrate our 50th birthday. So we have a strategic partnership around the world, and we count actually 80 associated teams active in 2015. Inria, it's all about people, and actually I'm deeply convinced that innovation is basically all about people, but we'll talk about this later on. At Inria, we are 4,500 people, and we have a lot of scientists, that is to say researchers, engineers, PhDs, postdoctorals, and we also have departments for research support and provided services. For example, I am not a researcher, but I'm working for the Innovation, Transfer and Partnership Service to support researchers and to establish contact with the economical world. We also have the legal department, the finance department, and so on. And as you can see, we make a distinction between the Inria staff, meaning the employee from that are directly hired by Inria, and the second-man staff, meaning the employee from other university or other research centers that we are working with. For example, we are working with people from the CNRS. This particular organization stands for this specificity. Research at Inria is organized in project teams, which bring together researchers with complementary skill to focus on specific scientific project. So in a project team, it's led by a specific personality on a dedicated research theme with goals and roadmap defined and evaluated every 4 years. The average lifetime is 8 years, and it can be more than 12 years. This is an open model, and Inria is able to explore original approaches with its partners in industry and in academia. With that, we can provide an efficient response to the multidisciplinarity and application challenges on the digital transformation. And as you can see, we have almost 200 project teams in Inria, and most of them are collaborating with companies. So some numbers, because it's always interesting. In 2015, our budget was 230 millions, divided in 70% from public resources and 30% from our own resources, meaning from contract with companies and from European collaborative projects. From a specific scientific point of view, we had 38 European Research Council grants, and scientists are from all over the world. You can see we have a lot of scientific publication. We developed software programs a lot. Actually, this is the core, our core activities. And we are very worldwide because we have 87 different nationalities within Inria. But what are we going to do in Inria? We are working on computer science and applied mathematics, but what does that mean? So we are working in model and simulation, in high performance computing and cloud, networks and IoTs. We are having teams working on safety, reliability, data processing, meaning big data, interaction, interface and usage, programming, and robotics. Here in Lille, our main research topics are data intelligence, adaptive software systems, and we also have scientific priorities, which are the Internet of Things, software engineering for everlasting systems, and everything that is linked to human-computer interaction. So, to sum up, we work on digital, but since digital can be found in all areas, Inria transfers expertises and research results to companies in fields as diverse as you can see here, in health and society, in transport, in communications, in creation, in security, protection, and reliability, but also in energy, in smart cities, and the factory of the future. You can find all more information in our website, or you can also contact me to have more details. So now that you know who we are, that is to say researchers are working on new technologies, that is to say on innovation for all those sectors, but how does it work to collaborate with a research center, with Inria or someone else, and to benefit from those innovations? First off, let me explain what is a technology transfer. Technology transfer consists in converting research results into innovation by moving them out of the scientific realm and into the wider economy. So this transfer can take three forms. The first one is the transfer of knowledge. So the researchers uses their knowledge and their topics expertise to carry out a research project with a company. Then the transfer of skills. That is to say, for example, when a company hires someone who already worked in a research center, they will benefit from his expertise and his link to innovation and technology. The third one is the transfer of technology, and this you can split it in three ways of doing it. The first one is by using an existing technology developed by a scientist in a partnership with the laboratory and a company. If the technology suits the need of the company, we can make license, and otherwise you need to develop the technology a little bit more to fit your specific need. The second one is when a scientist who works months or years on implementing a new technology, and this scientist wants to create his own startup. This is a spin-off of the research center. That's a way of transferring technology in the economical world. The third one is by developing a business community around an open source software package. And we do it a lot in Inria. So if you go on our website or seeing publication, you will see a lot of open source softwares, and you can go and contribute to develop it within the community. So at Inrias, we have more than 100 spin-off, and here in Lille we have 6. Most of them are located here in Ura Technology, but let's focus on transfer with a company. That's the subject of today. So, as you can see, researchers are normal people. So if you want to innovate in your business, it's important to have a barrier to entry, a technological barrier to entry, so that your future competitor may not enter your market, or it will take them a long time. The advantage of working with a research center is that they may already have the technology you need and has been developed by a scientist, so you will save a lot of time. In every research center, that's my second point, you have an innovation and partnership transfer department, meaning someone like me you can talk to about your project in total confidentiality by signing a NDA, non-disclosure agreement. We have direct and daily contact with the research team. This makes us the natural choice to serve as the interface between you two. We have all the information we need to point you to the research team most suited to your requirements and to set up a collaborative technological transfer project. We need to be sure that your request is not focused on engineering and that it's a research project. For example, if you need to develop an application, this is engineering. But if you want to fix bugs on the fly on your application with an automatic system, yes, it exists. This is a technology we already developed. And so that kind of projects are suitable for collaboration with researchers. Once we are sure that the solution doesn't exist on the market. We already we organize a meeting with the research team and the company to be sure that the project is well pointed out, that the people are willing to work together. It's very, very important for us that both sides are willing to collaborate together. And during this meeting, it will help us define how long the project will be, and according to the time spent, we can do the budget. So it's generally based on the time spent by the research team on the company's project. But obviously, before starting a project, we take care of all the legal aspects and we define intellectual property. It's very, very important for both sides. And so here are some examples of different ways of collaborating with a research center. First off, you have the expertise and consulting. So that is to say, you came here and we asked the researcher to have a study or report on your specific problems. The second way of doing a collaboration is by having a licensing contract. So you sign a licensing agreement, or if you need some adaptation to be made to this technology, we can go to a further research contact. The third one is the research contract. So this is made between a company and Inria, and the company describes his request and all the research is done by Inria. Another way to collaborate is when the company is willing to allocate personnel for the project. So it's called, for us, a collaborative project, meaning that both sides are allocating personnel and employees on the common project. We already made some joint laboratory with companies and Inria, and it's a very good way to go further on a research project. The last one is a multi-collaborative project. So it's when we are joined on a European project with private and public partners. And so here in this slide, you have all the duration, because I know the time sometimes between research and so academia and I would say real world with companies is not the same. And so here you have all the indication about duration. So basically an expertise, you can start it for 1 month and a project and a collaborative project can last for up to 4 years. But this question of time will very be treated during the exchange and the meeting with the research centers. To define what is the project, how long, and how much it will cost for the company. So I wanted to share some examples of what we have already done as collaboration with industries. Those are major groups and startups from, two people. So some example, the first one is a music recommendation system for a French website, Deezers. So they wanted to attract new listeners, and they wanted to recommend some music. So one of the research team in Lille worked on this music recommendation system. The second one is a company which is located in Marseille in the south of France. It was 3 years ago, there were only 2 people, and they just created the startup, and they were focused on smart containers. And the company wanted to find out everything about the container. That is to say, its precise location, the temperature, the humidity level, the level of vibration, when the door were open, and so on. And our research team worked with them for 3 years with a PhD researcher, and they did actually the design of the communication for all the smart containers. So this collaboration created actually 3 patents that are shared with this company and Inria. That's another way to collaborate together. And the third project was robotics for smart hospital tables. So it's one of our research team in robotics, and so we did a proof of concept together, and this only lasted 1 month. So as you can see, the projects can be very fast, up to 1 month, and long enough for 3 or 4 years. So to wrap up everything, what I can say is that when you have a proper department to talk to and to explain what are your dreams, what are your problems, your technical problems, you have people whose jobs are to respond to your request. So please use it. You will save some time, and those research centers, some are private, some are public, and we are a public one. And so if you want to just talk with us, you can have some ideas of what's going on in the research area, and so you can benefit from it. And I deeply think that innovation is about people, is about exchange, sharing everything. So that's one step to do it. So feel free to contact us, to contact Inria or more generally a research center, because I think you cannot do innovation without relying on what's happening in research centers. You will find my contact if you want to contact me. Thank you for having me, and see you. Bye-bye.